Ever feel like life's circumstances are out of your control? What if there was a philosophy that empowers you to take charge? In this video, we unravel the Stoic secrets to embracing personal responsibility, a game changer for those ready to own their actions and shape their destiny. Ready to take the reins of your life? Let's dive in. Welcome to our video on how to embrace personal responsibility through Stoicism. Today, we will take a deep dive into the sea of wisdom that is Stoicism and unravel the many ways it can help us grow as individuals and foster a sense of personal responsibility. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, has stood the test of time, and its teachings continue to resonate with people worldwide. Its aspects such as self-control, fortitude, and emotional resilience have been embraced by millions to lead a fulfilling life. One such profound principle is the concept of personal responsibility. Personal responsibility in the context of Stoicism involves recognizing that we are the masters of our actions and emotions. It's about taking accountability for our actions, both good and bad, and accepting that our choices define our life's trajectory. This concept becomes even more crucial in today's world, where blame shifting and a victim mentality often hinder personal growth. Now let's delve deeper into why personal responsibility is so paramount in Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us that the only things we can genuinely control are our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. The outside world with its unpredictable twists and turns is beyond our control. Recognizing this truth helps us to take personal responsibility for our actions and reactions. In addition to this, Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of self-reflection. It encourages us to assess our actions, understand their impacts, and learn from our mistakes. This self-evaluation is an integral part of fostering personal responsibility. Accepting our flaws and working on them, rather than blaming external factors, leads us towards genuine progress. Another essential aspect of personal responsibility in Stoicism is accepting consequences. Life presents us with different situations, and our decisions in these situations have consequences. Whether these consequences are good or bad, accepting them is crucial to personal growth. Recognizing this can help us make better decisions in the future. While this might feel challenging initially, over time, it leads to the development of emotional resilience. This resilience helps us to remain calm in the face of adversity, allowing us to make well-thought-out decisions rather than react impulsively. It's empowerment in its truest sense. Taking ownership of our actions is yet another vital aspect of personal responsibility in Stoicism. When we take ownership, we acknowledge our role in the situation. This recognition allows us to learn, grow, and make more informed decisions in the future. Personal responsibility also helps us develop empathy for others. By accepting our actions and their consequences, we understand that other people are also navigating through the same complexities of life. This realization can cultivate compassion and understanding towards others. In Stoicism, the path to personal responsibility is a journey of continuous learning, acceptance, and growth. It encourages us to develop a mindset that fosters self-awareness and self-improvement. It reminds us that we have the power to shape our lives, not through circumstances but through our actions and reactions. In this video, we will explore the significance of personal responsibility in Stoicism, and provide practical insights for accepting consequences and taking ownership of our actions. So, let's begin this interesting exploration. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy founded in Greece, accentuates the significance of personal responsibility. This time-honored doctrine, founded over 2 millennia ago, is rooted in the intellectual soil of Greece, the birthplace of Western philosophy. Stoicism is one of the many philosophies that blossomed under the expansive blue skies of Greece, a country noted for its profound thinkers who profoundly influenced the history of ideas. This philosophy, like a sturdy, deep-rooted tree, has attracted many followers and admirers over the centuries. It has withstood the sands of time and has continually been a beacon of guidance for those seeking wisdom and clarity amid life's challenges. Stoicism, in its essence, is a philosophy that offers us tools to lead fulfilling, tranquil lives. It is a lens to view life through, sharpening our perspective and enriching our experiences. But what does Stoicism entail? At its core, Stoicism is a philosophy that emphasizes personal responsibility. It teaches us that our lives are primarily shaped not by what happens to us, but by how we respond. It encourages us to shift our focus from what we cannot control, such as external events, to what we can control, such as our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Stoicism encourages us to recognize that our thoughts are our own, and we have the power to control them. It teaches us that our thoughts are our private garden, and we are the gardeners. We can let it overrun with weeds of negativity and confusion, or we can nurture it with seeds of positivity and clarity. Our thoughts can either be our greatest ally or our most formidable enemy, and Stoicism empowers us to choose the former. Stoicism as well teaches us to master our emotions. It explains that emotions are not something that merely happens to us. Instead, they are reactions that we can control. Stoicism enlightens us that we are not passive victims of our emotions but rather active participants. It encourages us to view our emotions as waves in the ocean of life, realizing that they come and go, and we can choose whether or not to ride them. Furthermore, Stoicism underscores the importance of taking charge of our actions. It elucidates how every action is a choice, and that these choices shape our lives. Every decision we make is like a step on the path of our life, leading us closer to our goals or further from them. Stoicism instructs us to take ownership of this path, to tread carefully and consciously, fully aware of the direction every step leads us. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it is a way of life, a roadmap directing us towards a tranquil and fulfilling life. It guides us to understand that we are the architects of our lives, and that our thoughts, emotions, and actions form the blueprint. The doctrine of Stoicism is like a torch in the darkness, illuminating the path ahead and empowering us to walk on it with confidence. In conclusion, Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches us about personal accountability. It is a doctrine that instills in us the understanding that we are in control of our internal domain. It teaches us that we have control over our own thoughts, emotions, and actions, and that we should take ownership of them. One key aspect of personal responsibility in Stoicism is accepting the consequences of our actions. It is a concept that goes beyond simple acknowledgement. It is an embodiment of understanding that every choice we make, every decision that we take has an outcome, and that outcome, whatever it may be, is ours to bear. This isn't about guilt or self-blame, but rather about empowerment. We cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. This is a core Stoic principle, one that centers on the idea of control and the acceptance of fate. We can't control the world around us, the actions of others, or the unpredictable nature of life. However, we can control our actions, our reactions, and ultimately, our acceptance of the uncontrollable. Stoicism, as a philosophy, advocates for the cultivation of virtue and the development of moral character. It teaches that we should strive to be good, not just for our own sake, but for the well-being of others as well. It is a call to live in accordance with nature, to understand that our actions have consequences, and to accept those consequences with grace and humility. Stoics believe in acknowledging our role in the outcomes. They highlight the importance of self-awareness and self-reflection, encouraging us to take a hard look at ourselves and our actions. We are urged to identify our strengths and weaknesses, to understand our motivations, and to recognize the impact of our actions on others. By doing so, we gain insight into our character and habits, and we can then take steps to improve ourselves and our relationships with others. This concept of personal responsibility goes hand in hand with the Stoics' emphasis on the power of reason. Stoics believe that we should use reason to guide our actions, to make informed decisions, and to navigate our way through life's challenges. They argue that rational thinking can help us understand our emotions, control our impulses, and make better choices. In doing so, Stoics argue that we can develop a sense of inner peace and contentment, regardless of the external circumstances we face. They encourage us to focus on what we can control, and to let go of what we can't. This is a powerful idea, one that can provide a sense of clarity and purpose in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. One of the most profound aspects of Stoicism is its emphasis on personal growth and self-improvement. Stoics believe that we should always be striving to better ourselves, to learn from our experiences, and to grow as individuals. They argue that personal growth comes from accepting responsibility for our actions, from understanding the consequences of those actions, and understanding to guide our future behavior. By taking responsibility for our actions, we can learn valuable lessons about ourselves and the world around us. We can use these lessons to inform our future decisions, to improve our relationships, and to contribute positively to the world. This is the power of personal responsibility, a concept that is deeply embedded in the philosophy of Stoicism. This mindset allows us to learn from our mistakes and grow as individuals. Understanding that we are the architects of our own destiny, that our actions have consequences, and that we are ultimately responsible for the outcomes of those actions, is a powerful tool for personal growth and self-improvement. This is the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us to accept responsibility, to understand the consequences of our actions, and to use that understanding to guide our future behavior. Another important principle of Stoic ownership is taking responsibility for our emotions. This principle is not just mere philosophy, but it is a doctrine that extends into every aspect of our lives. It encompasses our personal, professional, and emotional spheres, teaching us that we are not mere spectators of our own lives, but active participants who have a say in how we perceive and respond to the world around us. Indeed, the principles of Stoic ownership are deeply rooted in the understanding of human nature and the realities of our existence. The Stoics were not just philosophers, but practical thinkers who understood that life's events, both good and bad, are an integral part of our human experience. They taught that we cannot control these events regardless of how much we may wish to. The world does not operate according to our desires or whims, and yet, the Stoics argue, we are not helpless in the face of these realities. On the contrary, we have a powerful tool at our disposal: our emotions. Emotions, according to the Stoics, are not simply reactions to external events, but are the lens through which we interpret and make sense of our experiences. They are our personal compass, guiding us through the ebbs and flows of life. To take responsibility for our emotions, therefore, is to acknowledge that we have control over our own perception of the world. We cannot stop the storm from raging, but we can control whether we let the storm rage within us. This is not to say that we should suppress our emotions, far from it. The Stoics believed in experiencing emotions fully, but in doing so with a sense of awareness and intentionality. In practical terms, what this means is that we have the power to choose how we react to external events. We can choose to let adversity crush us, or we can choose to see adversity as an opportunity for growth. We can choose to let anger consume us, or we can choose to channel that anger into constructive action. We can choose to drown in sorrow, or we can choose to find meaning in our pain. This principle of emotional ownership does not promise a life devoid of hardship, but it does offer a way of navigating through life's challenges with grace and dignity. It teaches us that calmness and rationality are not traits that we are born with, but are skills that we can cultivate through practice. Stoic ownership is not about emotional stoicism or indifference, but about emotional intelligence and resilience. It is about understanding that our emotions are not just passive reactions, but active choices. It is about recognizing that our emotions are not just a part of us, but are in fact a reflection of us. It is about acknowledging that while we cannot control the world around us, we can world within us. It is about understanding that while we may not be able to change the circumstances of our lives, we can change the way we perceive and respond to those circumstances. Stoic ownership, therefore, is an empowering principle. It is a call to action, a call to take control of our emotional landscape, to shape it, mold it, and ultimately, to own it. It is a call to look at the events of our lives, not as obstacles, but as opportunities for personal growth and development. Stoics understand that we cannot control external events, but we can control how we react to them. By practicing this principle of emotional ownership, we can choose to respond to challenging situations with calmness and rationality, not out of compulsion, but out of choice. We can choose to face life's adversities not with fear and trepidation, but with courage and determination. By taking ownership of our emotions, we can choose to respond to challenging situations with calmness and rationality. Stoicism also encourages us to take ownership of our actions. This philosophy, an ancient school of personal ethics built on the principles of mindfulness and self-awareness, urges us not to simply sit back and watch our lives unfold from the sidelines. It suggests that we take a more active, conscious role in shaping the course of our existence. Stoicism whispers into our ears the importance of being the architects of our destinies. It reminds us that we are not just passengers on this journey of life, but rather the drivers steering the wheel. This Stoic belief advocates for a proactive approach to life, pushing us to rise above being mere spectators of our own existence. This timeless philosophy tells us that our lives are not just a series of random occurrences or externally imposed events over which we have no control. It says instead that we possess a significant degree of power and influence over our actions and consequently, our lives. At the heart of Stoicism lies the concept of ownership. Not the kind of ownership that relates to material possessions, but the kind that relates to our actions, choices, and decisions. Everything we do, every decision we make, and every step we take is our own responsibility. And with this responsibility comes the power to influence and sway the course of our lives in the direction we desire. Through the prism of Stoicism, we are encouraged to understand that our lives are largely the product of our actions. This, of course, does not negate the effect external events can have on us. We cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond to them. Our actions and reactions are entirely within our control, and it is these that shape the trajectory of our lives. Stoicism is not about denying the influence of fate or external circumstances. It's about understanding that while we cannot control every event that happens to us, we can control these events. We can decide whether to let these events overwhelm us, or whether to stand firm and confront them with courage and resilience. Embracing Stoicism means understanding that our actions are the seeds we sow for the harvest of our future. Each action is a step forward on the path of our destiny. When we take ownership of our actions, we are taking control of our journey, stepping out of the shadows of passivity and into the light of active, conscious living. Stoicism teaches us to hold the reins of our lives firmly, to steer our life ship deftly across life's stormy seas. It warns us against the dangers of passivity, of letting life happen to us, rather than making life happen for us. The Stoic creed insists that we are the authors of our own life stories, and that we have the power to write each chapter according to our will. Indeed, by taking responsibility for our actions, Stoicism guides us to make conscious, deliberate choices that align with our core values, our personal ethos, and our long-term goals. This philosophical guidepost nudges us to steer our lives in a direction that resonates with our innermost beliefs and aspirations. By taking responsibility for our actions, we can make conscious choices that align with our values and goals. In order to embrace personal responsibility through Stoicism, it is crucial to delve into the art of self-reflection and self-awareness. The philosophical belief we're discussing, Stoicism, holds a deep connection with these concepts. The Stoics believe that by understanding ourselves and our reactions to various situations, we can gain control over our responses and thereby our lives, which is the epitome of personal responsibility. Self-reflection in the context of Stoicism is about more than just thinking about your day. It is a focused, purposeful analysis of your thoughts and emotions. Through self-reflection, we can gain insight into why we feel certain emotions and why we react in the ways that we do. This practice isn't about self-judgment, but instead, it's about self-understanding. We aim to understand our triggers, our emotional responses, and our actions. This understanding allows us to be more compassionate towards ourselves and to be prepared for future situations that may trigger similar emotions. On the other hand, self-awareness is an active process. It's about being mindful of our thoughts, emotions, and actions in the present moment. It's about observing ourselves without judgment. It's about noticing patterns in our behavior and emotional responses. It's about being able to identify our strengths and weaknesses. It's about understanding our own emotional landscapes and how they impact our actions and reactions. Stoicism teaches us that our reactions and responses are within our control. It encourages us to take ownership of them and not blame external circumstances or other people for our behavior. It's a philosophy that champions personal responsibility. Therefore, to truly embrace Stoic ideals, we need to undertake a journey of self-reflection and self-awareness. Practicing self-reflection and self-awareness can be a challenge. It involves being honest with ourselves, acknowledging our flaws, accepting our emotions, and taking responsibility for our actions. It involves confronting aspects of ourselves that may be uncomfortable to acknowledge. But it's through this process that we can start to see areas where we need to take more ownership. It's through this process that we can identify aspects of ourselves that need change. Change is not easy. Change requires effort, dedication, and commitment. It often involves breaking free from old patterns, habits, and behaviors. But change is also powerful. It's an opportunity for growth, for development, and for progress. By taking ownership of our actions and behaviors, by being willing to change, we can become better, more responsible individuals. Stoicism provides us with the tools to do this. It provides us with a framework for self-reflection and self-awareness. It teaches us how to take ownership of our actions and emotions, and it encourages us to make positive changes in our lives. It's a philosophy that empowers us to take control of our lives and to live with purpose, with responsibility, and with integrity. In conclusion, to embrace personal responsibility through Stoicism, it is indeed necessary to practice self-reflection and self-awareness. By dissecting our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we can pinpoint areas where we need to take more ownership and catalyze positive changes. In conclusion, personal responsibility is a fundamental aspect of Stoicism. It is a philosophy that, originating from ancient Greece, has endured the test of time and continues to shape our understanding of personal development and self-improvement. A key element of this philosophy is the concept of personal responsibility, a principle that asserts our ability to control our reactions to external events and our obligation to own our emotions and decisions. The Stoic philosophers believe that our actions and intentions are the only things truly within our control. It is within our power to accept our circumstances and to take ownership of our emotions. We may not always choose what happens to us, but we can always choose how we respond. When we talk about personal responsibility, talking about taking ownership of our lives, this means accepting that the only thing we truly have control over is ourselves and our reactions to the events of life. A fundamental aspect of personal responsibility is accepting the consequences of our actions. Rather than blaming others or circumstances for our misfortunes, we should recognize that our actions and decisions have led us to where we are. By accepting the responsibility for our actions, we can learn from our mistakes and make better choices in the future. Moreover, we also need to take ownership of our emotions. Instead of letting our emotions control us, we should control them. We should not let anger, fear, or despair affect our decisions and actions. Instead, we should acknowledge these emotions and consciously decide how we will react to them. This way we can stay calm and composed even in the most challenging situations. Another crucial facet of personal responsibility is the active shaping of our own destinies. In other words, it's about being proactive in creating the life we want to live. This involves setting clear goals, taking calculated risks, and persevering through hardships. It's about not waiting for things to happen, but making them happen. Indeed, personal responsibility can lead to significant personal growth. It can help us become more resilient, more focused, and more purposeful. It can empower us to take control of our lives and shape our destinies. It can make us not only more successful, but also more fulfilled. Personal responsibility, being a foundational principle of Stoicism, must not be overlooked when seeking personal growth. This philosophy offers a practical framework for understanding and managing our emotions, making sound decisions, and overcoming adversity. It is a guide that helps us navigate life's challenges and reach our full potential. Stoicism and personal responsibility, in essence, teach us to be masters of our own lives. They teach us to be strong, independent, and capable individuals who are able to face life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Learning and implementing Stoic principles in our daily lives can be transformative. It can help us cultivate a deep sense of inner peace, purpose, and it can help us better understand ourselves and the world around us. And most importantly, it can empower us to lead a fulfilling and meaningful life. To truly understand the impact of personal responsibility, we must first understand its roots in Stoicism. By taking responsibility for our actions and our emotions, and actively shaping our future, we can truly embrace the Stoic philosophy. This is not an easy task, but the rewards are great. So, let's embrace the teachings of Stoicism. Let's adopt personal responsibility, and let's create the lives we want to live. Remember, the power to shape your life lies in your hands. It's all about taking control, owning your actions, and becoming the best version of yourself. Thank you for watching, and we hope you found these insights helpful for your personal development. As we conclude this journey into Stoic wisdom, remember that personal responsibility is the key to unlocking the doors of your potential. By embracing it, you're not just navigating life, you're steering your ship. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join our community of Stoic enthusiasts committed to living a life of purpose and virtue. Until next time, take charge, be responsible, and live with the unwavering strength of a Stoic.